The night smelled of red wine, burnt garlic, and danger. The restaurant, La Stella Nate, was known for three things: authentic Sicilian recipes, wealthy customers, and silence. Not the peaceful kind of silence. The heavy kind. The kind that falls when powerful men enter a room and everyone pretends not to stare. Tonight, that silence arrived 10 minutes before the man himself. 5 black cars pulled up outside like shadows with engines. The doors opened in perfect timing. Men in tailored suits stepped out first, scanning the area with cold precision. And then he emerged. Salvatore De Luca. The father of the most feared Mafia boss in New York. An old lion with silver hair, piercing black eyes, and a cane he didn't need but carried as a reminder of authority. Every waiter straightened. Every fork paused mid-air. Even the piano player missed a note. But one person didn't move. A fragile-looking waitress with trembling hands and soft eyes. Her name was Sofia Romano. She looked like she could be blown away by a strong breeze. She weighed barely 100 pounds, her wrists thin, her shoulders delicate. No one would look at her twice. That was her advantage. She had been working double shifts for weeks, sending money to her sick mother back in a tiny coastal town in Sicily. No one knew her story. No one cared. To them, she was just the quiet girl who served water and avoided eye contact. Salvatore took the head table. Wine was poured. Expensive laughter filled the air. The old man snapped his fingers whenever he wanted something, not bothering to look at the servers. Sofia approached with a tray of antipasti. Her hands were steady now. She had learned how to silence fear. She placed the dish gently. "Careful," one of the bodyguards muttered as if she were invisible. Then it happened. A young busboy, barely 18, accidentally brushed Salvatore's shoulder while clearing a plate. The restaurant froze. Salvatore's eyes darkened. He rose slowly. The cane tapped once on the floor. Twice. And then, without warning, he slapped the boy so hard the sound cracked through the room like a gunshot. The boy stumbled, crashing into a table. Glass shattered. No one moved to help him. No one dared. Salvatore grabbed the boy by his collar, lifting him slightly. "You disrespect me," he growled. The manager stood frozen, pale as flour. The guests looked down. And then something unexpected happened. Sofia stepped forward. It was so subtle at first no one noticed. She walked towards Salvatore, her footsteps calm. Her heart was pounding, but her face remained still. She placed her tray down. "Sir," she said softly. Salvatore ignored her. He raised his hand again to strike the boy. And that's when it happened. A sharp, clean sound sliced the air. Sofia's hand connected with Salvatore's cheek. The slap wasn't loud because she was strong. It was loud because it was impossible. Time stopped. The old man's head turned slightly from the impact. His bodyguards reached for their weapons instantly. Chairs scraped. Someone gasped. The manager nearly fainted. The boy dropped to the floor. And in the middle of that frozen chaos stood a fragile waitress who had just slapped the most feared man in the room. Salvatore slowly turned his face back toward her. His eyes burned, not with pain, but disbelief. No one had touched him in 30 years. No one dared. The guards stepped closer. One whispered, "Say the word, Don." The restaurant felt like it was holding its breath. Sofia didn't step back. She didn't tremble. Instead, she leaned slightly closer to Salvatore. And then she said one word. Just one. In Sicilian. Famiglia. Family. The word echoed louder than the slap. Something changed in Salvatore's eyes. Not anger. Recognition. His grip loosened from the boy's collar. His cane tapped the floor again, but softer this time. The guards hesitated, confused. The old man studied her face carefully now, really looking at her for the first time. "Where did you learn that word?" he asked quietly in Italian. Sophia swallowed. "From my father. Before he was killed protecting yours." The room shifted. Whispers flickered across the tables. Salvatore's expression hardened again, but differently. "What did you say?" he asked. Sophia held his gaze. "My father was Marco Romano. From Castellamare del Golfo. He took a bullet meant for your son 22 years ago. You promised my mother protection. Instead, we were forgotten." The guards lowered their weapons slightly. Salvatore's jaw tightened. He remembered. The docks. The betrayal. The gunfire. A loyal man who never flinched. Marco Romano. The fragile waitress standing before him wasn't fragile at all. She was legacy. Blood debt. A ghost from his past. The entire restaurant was still silent, but the silence had changed. It was no longer fear. It was suspense. Salvatore's hand slowly rose. Gasps filled the room again. Was he going to strike her back? Instead, he touched his cheek where she had slapped him. Then he did something no one expected. He nodded. "Leave us," he told his men. "All of you." The guards hesitated. "Now." They stepped back. The old man looked at the boy on the floor. "Stand up," he ordered. The boy scrambled to his feet. "No one touches my family," Salvatore said firmly, his voice carrying across the restaurant.